Hmm. Thank you so much for confirmation. Now let me share my screen. Okay, guys. As we are done with this MySQL last week, so there is nothing remaining for us in MySQL. So today we're gonna start with Java. We will start with our next phase of our curriculums. That will be automation testing. Inside automation, we will be covering Java. Let me try it. Inside automation section, automation, as we already discussed that. Alongside that, we have Java with automation. We have GitHub that we need to cover. It's a collaboration tool. We need to cover Selenium. We need to cover Jenkins, but it is theory, not the practical. Jenkins. Next, we need to cover Maven, and we need to cover as well what? Cucumber. They are both frameworks or full structure that we are using with the Selenium itself. Um, Also, we will cover API testing as well. API testing with Postman software. That is the industry leading API testing tool that we're gonna cover. These sections we will be covering in rest of our course. So all of these concepts based on the automation. Till now, whatever we did cover was all about what? Manual testing. But from today itself, everything comes under the automation testing. Means we need to write the scripts, we need to do the real coding for that so that we can automate our day-to-day life. This guys give me a sec. Yeah, sorry. Uh, as of now, before jumping inside to the automation testing and starting with Java, because the entry point for automation testing is Java. Java is what? Java is a programming language. For writing script, we need to learn one of the programming language. So what is this programming language? How it deals with the system? We will cover it in next session and we will start with today's session. Okay. Till this point, do we have any questions regarding MySQL? Any confusing points which you don't know till now, which is already confuse you? So you can ask me before starting the Java. Anything, any questions related to manual testing?
Hello, Mr. Furkan. I have a question.
Yeah, hello. Tell me what's your question.
Hi. The only thing is like how we can use my SQL for testing. I don't see anything that
Mhm.
is really working as you make the report or anything for testing. Is that
Yeah.
anything we can do?
Mhm. Whenever you start working on the company, most of the time database testing are handed to the experienced person inside the company who spent 3 to 5 years of he gained he or she must have 5 to 4 years of experience inside testing, that was automation testing, so that he understand the structure and flow of the project. So at that time he can do the database testing. We are teaching you the database MySQL for the reason is that at least whenever you go to the company, you understand that what is MySQL, how we will use it, which commands are inside MySQL, because these commands were they are asking inside interviews. Whenever you go for interview, they will ask you, okay, why we use join, how we will use join, what is the syntax of create, write down the syntax of drop. These question will be asked for you from you at that time. So for that reason we are teaching you MySQL. But whenever you go inside the company, they will assign you a task, like suppose they will give you the tables and they will tell you, okay, go and join these 3 tables for me. If the data record comes, it is correct, and alongside that, you need to go to check the schema of the tables, that whether this table has primary key, this table has foreign key. Okay, if this table is connected with this table, does this relationship is established through primary key or not? They are established through a simple constraint, like we only assigned an int data type to it. So these concepts you need to check inside the database testing. Now the question is clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now Ashkan says that still a bit confused about foreign keys. Ashkan, foreign key is nothing but if you want to join, one or two tables, like for example, let me take an example right here. If you want to join this table with one another table which is located here, so this my first table is, like, suppose take it as a college. Okay, this college has one unique ID, primary key. This college primary key, if you want to connect college with student, so you need, whenever you're linking those tables, so for that you need to add primary key. You need to insert the primary key of the college inside student table as a foreign key, because whenever you can you can relate them that, okay, Ahmad Mahmoud Ali Khan is belongs to college number 1. In college number 1 name is like US college, USA college. Here you have one another college which ID is 2, that will be UK college. So at that time you can say that Sonia, Sadaf and other girls are belongs to which college? Belongs to UK college. If you want to join one table with another table, at that time you need to add foreign key. Foreign key is nothing but the copy of the college primary key. Foreign key which is located inside my student table. This is nothing but a copy of my primary key which is located inside my college table. Now it's clear, Ashkan? Yeah, don't worry about this, you will understand it. No worries at all. Okay, now if you don't have any questions, let's jump in to our slides. Let's start with the programming language. Let me make it in presentation mode. Yeah, it's now better. Okay, guys. Uh, what is Java? Many of you guys have may heard about Java. Java is this, Java is that. But today in real life, we gonna learn Java, that how we will use Java inside automation. Look, guys, before that, first of all, Java is a very vast topic. Java, if you go study Java, Java will take 1 year of you. But we design our curriculum that we will pick those topics which is important inside our testing, writing scripts. We will learn those concepts. We're gonna not cover all over the Java, but we will cover the fundamentals and core parts, which is very important inside Selenium. Whenever you're using Selenium, so you will make use of that content which you have already learned inside Java. So with that, many of you have might confuse that, okay sir, you teach us these things, but you did left these things. So most of the things are belongs to development team. So if someone wants to learn development with Java, so they can learn Java along only alongside with the alongside with the testing. But if you want to learn only testing, so whatever content I am teaching right here, so that is more enough for you guys. That was a basic clarification which I want to add it in the starting session of the Java. Now we have programming. These concepts are very important. These are the common terminologies inside a programming language, inside a technology, or inside a scripting language. If you want to learn one of the scripting language or one of the coding language, these terminology are very important. You need, at least you need to understand them, that what are these. Okay. Before that, let's consider a scenario. You're a person that don't understand the Spanish language. You're a person that speak only how many languages? You can speak only Dari, Pashto, English, and a little bit of Hindi. You can speak only 4 languages, but you're meeting with someone who only understand which language? Only understand, like suppose Turkey language. Now you don't know Turkey, how to speak, and this person don't know English, Dari, Pashto, Hindi. None of them, none of these languages are there. He can understand. So inside between you peoples, you need a what? You need a translator or interpreter. That's someone who can translate actually whatever say you speak to him with Dari that hey, I need this. He will translate this to the Turkish man. He's the person who can speak all of the languages which you understand and all of the languages which this person can understand. He can speak in both different languages. So whatever data, whatever question you ask from him, so you need to ask from who? You need to ask from this person, from interpreter. Interpreter will translate to this person. After that, this person will respond to translator, and translator will respond to you. Means inside inside A, this will be A person, this will be B person, and interpreter is C person. So inside A and B, we will cover as C person. C person will do what? Do the task of translation. This was a common scenario in our day-to-day life. But whenever if we want to talk with computer, now computer is again a machine, and if you want to give them instruction, so for giving instruction, you need to learn their language. So what is the language of computer? Language of the computers are programming languages. These are the language of the computers. So if human wants to talk with computer, he or she can't speak in Dari, Pashto, etc. He must speak in a he must learn one of the languages, programming languages. In our case, it will be Java. Many of the people will learn Python. Some will learn JavaScript. These languages have different scenarios. So in today our session, we only learn Java in our course. So through Java, we can talk with the machines, with the computers, that, hey, machine, do this task to me, do this task to me, do this task to me. Machine will understand accordingly that, okay, this person commands me to do this, to do this. But this instruction will be in different format that later on in slides we will cover that. Okay, I will be writing the syntax in plain English. So how the machine will understand? Machine don't know English. Machine only understand, our computers only understand 0 and 1 format. This is the language of computer, and we are giving the instruction in English. So how this translation happen between them? This language is what it is the translator or interpreter between machine and human. So we will understand it step by step in next slides. Now let's back into the slide. Now, what is program? We gave the definition that it's a set of instruction that directs a computer to perform a task, or it will command the hardware to do this functionality to me. Now, what is programming? Programming languages is a language that actually programmers are using them for what? For doing or for making use of the computer in a good way or in a bad way. It depends on totally on the programmer. Suppose I'm a programmer and I will need to create a software that do this task to me. So I will go and pick one of the programming language and start writing coding inside that so that I can complete the piece of the software which I want to create. This is called programming language. We have 5 types of programming language. Now we are dealing with the types of programming language. If you can see the slide, first type of the programming language are procedural programming language. Second is functional programming language. Third is scripting programming language. Fourth, we have logic programming language. And fifth, we have object-oriented programming language. These procedure, functions, scripting, logic, objects-oriented, or short forms we can take OOPS. These have different scenario cases. Like in procedure programming language, we have C language. And inside procedure programming language, you write in each step by yourself. There is no predefined function. There is no helper function. Don't worry about functions. You will learn everything whenever we move ahead a little bit inside Java. But as of now, just consider it. Just learn it that there is something called function. Now you don't have a helper function. You need to create everything from scratch inside procedural language, and it is a little bit tough and it's old-fashioned. Like in 1960s, people were using that. Functional programming language. This is a technique, or we can say it's a concept that a little bit make the performance of the software, make it a little bit higher. Like suppose we have one programming language, we can name it its name is Scala, and it is only designed for making the banking application, for calculating the finance of the bank, because that programming language based on the functional programming language. And if you create a structure of a functional programming language inside the software, that software will be that will be a little bit faster and will pass a good test in as according to performance test. So that depends on the functional programming language. Now we have scripting programming language. Scripting programming language are totally different from these programming language. Scripting programming language mostly used with the hacker teams, network engineer who are doing automation. They will be using scripting programming language. So it totally depends on your work, on your work type, on your office that you're doing what. If you're a network engineer and you want to do automation, so with the scripting programming language, you can configure all the servers, hundreds of servers, hundreds of routers with one single command. Next, we have logic programming language. Logic programming language mostly used with the data science guys, with the person they are experienced with mathematics and they want to prove a theory. So with the help of this programming language, actually he can write their equation inside a programming language and they can calculate them and they can get the beautiful result. Like there are some softwares like MATLAB or I don't know other. We were using Scilab in our college. So these programming languages are basically built on logic programming language, that if you want to prove some mathematics equation, so you can use that programming language. But last one is object-oriented programming language, which is beautiful. If any of the language have this concept, that is, we can say that that language is perfect and totally a pure programming language, because inside OOPS or object-oriented programming language, you can do anything. Your hand is open. Now, Java is one of these programming language that your hand is open. Now, Java, the beauty of the Java is that with Java, you can do procedure programming language. With Java, you can do functional programming language. With Java, you can do scripting programming language. Inside scripting, you can use that. Actually, we'll be using it in Selenium. We will be writing scripts. With Java, you can do even a little bit of logical programming language, but with Java, 100% you are sure. I will give you the surety that you can do the object-oriented programming language. These are the types and concept, guys. Don't now lose your focus. Just learn it that we have 5 types of programming language. Later on in the course, I will explain them step by step, and I will show you practically inside the code that, guys, now we are following up the concept of the procedural programming language. Now, in this point, guys, we are following the functional programming language concept. These procedure, functional, scripting, logic, and object-oriented, these are concept, guys, inside a programming language that we can follow. Now, till this point, do we have any question? You can ask me inside the chat box. I want to know that you guys understand a little bit of them at least, whatever I explain. Any questions till this point? Okay. Mustafa asked which one is belong to tester. Mustafa belongs to tester. Now we are only dealing with the types and concepts. Tester even make a 4 of them. Tester can only make a 1 of them. So it depends totally on the project. So later on, we will understand that how we will use these concepts. As of now, just learn it, that these concepts we have. Okay, let's go to the next slide. We cover a little bit history of Java, that Java comes from where, what is Java? Now, Java is one of the programming language. Perhaps we can say that it's a high-level programming language that we can learn and we can make a use of them in today's life. Java was ready with the several features in 1991 by Sun Microsystem. There was a company in 1991 that named Sun Microsystem that they created Java. So Java is basically a general purpose and pure object-oriented programming language. General purpose means that with Java, you can do anything. It is not dedicated or specific to one of the tasks. With Java, you can do web development. With Java, you can create a desktop application. With Java, you can create a CLI commands application. With Java, you can do anything. The concept, the meaning of the general purpose is that with Java, you can do what? You can do anything. Pure object-oriented programming means that it totally stands on the pillar or concept of the OOPS or object-oriented programming language. Java, here I get the point, written down the point that Java was originally called Awk. Before the name of Java name was Awk. Awk is one of the coffee tree, which is located right with that time of the development. People were the development team who were developing the Java programming language. So there was a tree that they named it Awk. The tree name was Awk, so that for that reason they named the Java programming language as Awk for the first time in initial release. So later on they converted to Java. Now, who is the developer of the Java? The developer of the Java is James Gosling. He's the person that were leading the team of the developing, who were responsible for developing the Java programming language. It was leading by the James Gosling. First of all, Java was released for what? For TV, for VCR, for these electronic devices for the Sun Microsystem company, so that they can do the automation with the Java. They can write the script, they can make it programmable, so that these machines were at that time were a little bit advanced machine for that period of time. So that's why they created Java programming language. But later on, they get the decision that, hey, now it is time to make it a little bit advanced and add advanced feature. From that time, since that time, people will start developing it till this point. People are still developing Java, and Java is one of the most powerful, one of the most usable, and one of the king leading programming language in the industry. This was all about Java, so I will not go deep into the history of Java. Even programmers don't need to learn about history, just learn that it is developed by James Gosling. Yeah, first initial release was name was Awk. So people were using it for the first time for TV, VCR, and toasters machines. And little bit extra concept that we covered, that Java covered the limitation of C and C++. C and C++ are totally different language. Just try to read it. Don't bother yourself that what is C, what is C++. You don't need to use them inside the testing. That was all about this slide. Let's jump in to the structure of the Java. Now people or development teams or technologist people divide Java into two sections. They divide Java into two sections. These sections are Java. They make it first part as a core Java, and second part as a advanced Java. Advanced Java. Inside core Java, we have vast of topic. We have a lots of topic, like we will be covering string, conditions, like collection, and many more concepts which is related to core Java. But in advanced Java, we have only what? We have only servlet. We have JSP. These two technology we will be studying inside advanced Java, and inside core Java, we have a lots of topic. Now, inside core Java, what we developing inside, if you learn only core Java, you can only build a desktop application. But If someone tries to go to the development part, that developing a web application or developing one of the website, so he need to learn advanced Java and those concepts of JSP, servlet, and JDBC. These concepts are very important for advanced Java. If someone wants to create a website, so he need to learn advanced Java. If someone wants to create or learn to make a desktop-based application, so he need to learn Core Java for that. Now, here I mentioned the note that Java is a backend technology. What does it mean by backend? Now let's clear it in this example. Inside application, if you go to website, you have two sections. One section we called front end, that is the UI or user interface. Whatever texture or data or color images you can see, that is called front end section. Front end. You can see a picture, here's information a little bit, here's commentary section. These are what? These are the front end or UI. We can say that as a UI, user interface. Now we have one another concept that is called backend. Now backend totally depends on the word business logic. It will do what? For example, let me take an example. For example, we will go to where, let's go to Udemy. Udemy is an online platform that offer courses for us. Now inside Udemy, the pictures and the texture that you can see right here, these are all the UI of the Udemy, user interface of the Udemy. This is actually the front end part of the Udemy, we can say that. But suppose this is the front end. If I click on one of these front end parts, like suppose let's come to the business and let's come to the finance and accounting, and I will click on cryptocurrency blockchain. If I click on that, you can see that it redirects me to one another page and fetch some data to me about it, fetch some data or courses related to cryptocurrency and blockchain courses. Now this clicking of the function, there's a process that we can name it as a backend development. Now whatever operation you're doing on the screen, that is totally belongs to what? Belongs to backend part. Means that front ends only deal with UI, but if you want to make this UI dynamic or clickable or operationable, now for that you need to learn one of the backend language or create it with the backend language. This backend language deals with what? With operations or calculation or business logics. Operations. Now this was the concept of the front end and back end. Hope you guys can understand it. Okay, now let's jump into our slide again. Now let's cover the feature of Java. Features of the Java. What are the features of the Java? First of all, Java is simple. You can learn it very easy because it has a clear structure. You can follow some patterns inside Java so that you will not be misguided or you will not lose your way, that how you can go through these syntax, how you will build a program or how you will build the logic inside Java. So it's totally simple. You can learn it. Anyone perhaps can learn it. Next, it is object oriented. Object oriented means that it deals with the class and objects. Later on, when we start object oriented or OOPS concept inside Java, you will understand the concept of class and object. Next, it is robust. Robust, what is it? What does it mean by robust? Robust means that memory is secure. Before Java, whenever programmer were developing an application inside C and C++ language, they were scared of a memory leakage. Suppose, for example, if I double click on one of the software and it takes a lot of it loads a lot and it takes a lot of my time, so sometimes even the software get crashed. That depends totally on the leakage of the memory. It means that the memory which assigned to that software has a leakage because the code or source code of the software loads a lot. That's why it causes the memory leakage. But whenever you write an application inside a Java, so you don't need to be worried about the memory of the computer or RAM of the computer. The application will not get hanged. It will not crash directly. So because all of the robustness which depends on the memory, or all of the performance issue which depends on the software, is handled by Java, because Java offers you a robust memory, a secure, a very intelligent memory management, that your software will not get stuck, your software will not get hanged, and neither it will not be what? It will not be crashed. It depends on robust. Robust was about this memory management. Now it is secure. Why it is secure? Because Java is very, in terms of security, it is very sincere. They convert their source code to bytecode. Now keep in the mind that they convert their source code to bytecode. What is bytecode? Later on, we will understand inside compiler, when we study compiler, when we study interpreter. So we will be covering that in that section, that what is byte. So it converts all of their source code to bytecode. That's why it is very secure. Nobody can understand that what is going on. Next, we have platform independent. Now, what does platform independent mean? Platform independent means that, suppose, for example, I'm writing a desktop application inside a Java. Now, if I make the exe of that application, you can install it directly in Linux. You can install it inside Mac OS operating system or Macintosh operating system. You can use it inside Solaris. You can use it even inside what? Inside a Windows operating system. Now they define themselves that write once or create once, use it anywhere. It means that whenever, if you write an application inside Java, without no problem, you can run it in any operating system. Now, what is operating system? Operating system is the soul or the kernel of our computer. Like you guys are using Mac OS, someone else is using Linux, I'm using Windows operating system. So this window is nothing but an OS or operating system. Now, if you create an application with the Java, you can run it without any problem inside any of the operating systems, with no delays, with no crashes, with no stucks. This is the concept of the platform independent. Now, next we have performance. We talked about the performance, that Java is very lightweight and it is very secure in terms of the writing code. So it will give a better performance for us whenever we use the concept of the object-oriented in terms of performance. Next, you have desktop client. Desktop client means that with the help of Java, core Java, you can develop a desktop-based application. You can create a desktop-based application. Like suppose, if you guys saw on the supermarkets, people, whenever they're scanning something, everything gets stored inside the one computer. That is the concept. That is the example of the standalone application, or we can say that is the example of the desktop-based application. Like for example, now I'm presenting this PowerPoint, this text inside a PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is a desktop application. Desktop application means that it don't need to connect with the internet. Those applications don't need to connect with the internet. That's why they called as a desktop application. Now Java is what? Next, Java is multi-threaded. Multi-threaded means that in same time, you can do different tasks. Like suppose you are a multitasker. Now you're sitting right here and you're learning Java. Alongside that, you're also writing something else, or you're writing some financial issue as well on a piece of paper. Now this show you're multitasker. Same concept applies in Java, that Java can do a different task in same period of time with no further delay, and it doesn't even affect on the performance of the software even. So that's why Java introduced a beautiful concept of the multi-threading for us. Now, last we have dynamic. Dynamic means that it is flexible. Java is very flexible. You can stretch it, you can pull it how much. If you can pull the code, you can pull your project. With the Java, you don't need to be worried about the size of the project. The size of the project will be bigger at any situation or at any point. So you don't need to be worried about that if someone is creating an application inside a Java. That was all about the features of the Java. Till this point, do we have any questions, guys? Any point which is confusing? Let me see the questions. No. Abdul Mansur Azizi asked performance. Performance, Abdul Mansur, performance means that the fastness, how the software is fast, how it executes your task in fast mode. It depends all on the speed of the software. Okay, no question. Then you ask again that what is desktop client? Desktop client is nothing but application which you have already installed on your computer or on your PC. Like for example, I installed Office. Office is a desktop-based application because whenever I'm running Excel, PowerPoint, Word, any of these software, I don't need to connect with the internet because they are all designed for offline mode. Anything which you can use it offline inside your computer as a kind of web, that totally depends on what, as a part of desktop application or apps. This is totally a desktop based application, or we can say a desktop client. Okay, now next we have robust. Robust, Nasib, totally deals with the with the memory management. That Java has a good memory management. You don't need to take care of the memory management. Java by itself will take what? Will take the decision that okay, this part we need to do. We need to manage like this. It should not stack. It should not crash, and should not be very slow. Robustness means it depends on the memory management. Okay, guys, let's jump into the next slide. And here now I take an example of what is Java. Java is a popular programming language that we have already discussed. Now it is created, or it is released, we can say that, in 1995. Now it is owned by Oracle company, and more than 3 billion devices are running Java. Means on the earth, on the planet, more than 3 billion devices are running the Java application. You can see that how much Java is vast, how much Java is secure, and how many people are trusting on Java. That Java is very trusty language. Everybody, if someone is learning Java, so he's totally all and on the top of the benefits. Now, here is a point that, guys, if you learn Java, with Java, you can do what? If you learn Java, many doors alongside with the testing will open to you. Perhaps you can do mobile application development, especially on-write development. If you learn Java good or strong, you learn the concepts which we are teaching in a good way, your path is cleared even to mobile application development. Your path is clear to desktop-based application. You can create a desktop-based application. If you learn concepts of advanced Java, you will do the web application development as well. If you learn Java good, you can do even web servers. You can create a web servers, even server application we have, you can create with the Java. You can create games if you install Unity framework or Unity software. With inside the Unity software, you can write the program with the Java, and you can create the game as well with the Java. Now with database connection, Java is again very powerful, and many of the people are using Java for that databases application. Like suppose you guys have heard about ERP, like leave about ERP. And does any one of you have seen the Salesforce software? Salesforce is a company that provide an ERP for the people, for the business owners. Those applications even written inside the Java as well, some little part of their database connection or database storing their data. Those tasks will be handled by the Java programming itself. So with the help of Java, my aim at this point is that with the help of Java, if you learn it, many doors of the technology will open to you. You can do anything. That was all about this slide. In today topics, guys, we are only just doing what we are only just explaining some terminology inside Java, some core concepts of these programming languages that we need to at least understand, that what is byte, what is program, what is programming, why we are learning these programmings, these concepts, because it's a little bit theory and a little bit confusing as well. So don't worry about that. So you will understand it every day. Whenever every day passes, you will learn a lot of things. Like in SQL, you learn a lot of things. Same concept applies in Java as well. How much you go for, that will you understand with the practice. Now in next slide, why we use Java. First of all, Java works on different platforms. Platform like Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and etc. It is one of the most popular programming language in the world. Java is a king inside the market. It is the leader, like we can say that, and especially in a banking application, Java is a leader. Every company just want to create a Java banking application inside a Java language because it is very secure language. It is easy to learn and simple to use. It will be very easy. You will be understand that whenever we start coding inside Java, you will see that how much it is easy and how it's simple to use it. It is open source and free. Now the concept of open source and free will be a little bit confusing for you guys. Open source means that Oracle company is developing Java, but it will provide you in a free that, hey, I developed these things, so I don't need a single penny from you. You don't need to pay me. I will give you this facility in free to you. This is called an open source concept. Like there's like, suppose for example, Facebook is a company that develop Facebook for you. Take a scenario. Develop for you, they're paying their engineer. If they earn from different way, it totally different. We don't need to involve in that section. Just we are taking the example. They hire engineer, they are paying 100,000 to 180,000 lakh per annum to their engineers. Just they are developing Facebook, but they are providing Facebook, Instagram in free to you, that you're making use of them. You're enjoying the reels, you're enjoying the seeing the others photo, you're uploading your photos. These concepts, these are provided and free to you. So this is called the concept of the open source, that it is totally open source. Anybody can contribute, anybody can use it in a free. No one will charge you. It is secure, fast and powerful. We already discussed that in its future that Java is secure, Java is fast, and according to performance, and Java is very powerful, guys. Next, we have it has a huge community support. Now, what does it mean by community support? Guys, inside whenever you goes to company, you will see that before developing any project, the development team will sit together and discuss that. If we select this technology, okay, does this technology have any community support? Community support means that someone else have already faced an error which you're facing now, and he pasted on that with the solution. Now from that section you get the solution and solve your problem. Like for example, inside MySQL query you faced many errors, so you get it, the error and post it inside the internet, and in Stack Overflow you find the solution. That is called what? That is called community support. That if you face any error and during your programming, during your development, if you search it on the internet, you can easily find the solution. That is called a community support. And Java has a huge community support of the developer, that if you stuck anywhere, you will definitely find a solution. Especially Indians or the people who are very active inside the Java community. Next, Java is an object-oriented language. We will learn the concept of object-oriented language once we start writing the codes inside Java, which gives a clear structure to programs. It means that everything is clear and crystal to you. It's like a Lego system, that everything is divided into small parts. You can take you can break the parts, you can separate the parts, and you can even merge the parts at any time. It allows the code to be reused. And inside Java, if we use OOPS concept, object-oriented concept, with the help of that, we can make the reusable code. It means that you can reuse your code many times. It doesn't occur, it doesn't create any problem to you. We will learn that. Lowering development cost, because we have lots of developers inside Java, so the cost of the development will be lower. And Java is close to C++ and C#. C++ and C# are other different programming languages that are still in the market. C# developed by Microsoft, so it is a specific purpose programming language. It designs only for what? For Windows. If you want to create an application for the Windows desktop application, or if you want to create a game, C# are using in different scenario, but it is a Microsoft product, so they are built that C# language for developing application or whatever technologies inside Windows or Microsoft applications. So it totally different. We don't go to that section. As of now, we are only learning Java. This was all about Java history, Java terminologies, some basic terminology of the programming that we understand, guys. Any questions till this point, guys?